Hello! It's Two-Tip Tuesday! Welcome to
Two-Tip Tuesday.
Two Tips on a Tuesday.
Tips on a Tuesday.
Two-Tip Tuesday.
Two-Tip Tuesday. You get 2 tips.
Two-Tip Tuesday.
Hello and welcome to Two-Tip Tuesday. It's a beautiful day here in Humboldt County, California, and I am Mr. Kevin, your host for today's Two-Tip Tuesday. I bathed and I put on my new apron. Check out the new apron. Put your hands in your pockets like this, stand around like you're a Caltrans worker. All right, so today on Two-Tip Tuesday, we're going to be talking about 2 things. The first is how to make yourself a wooden scraper out of scrap. I call them my wooden safety scrapers, and I got a piece of scrap right here, and I'm going to show you how I make my little scrapers, and shortly I'm going to show you how I sharpen these with just sandpaper and why I keep them sharp. So that's the second tip on Two-Tip Tuesday. There's a little video I did last week or the week before that on California strippers, and it's right here, and you can see how useful these little scrapers are. The best size that I found so far is about 2 inches. When they get dull, you can always just put them back on the sander and sharpen them back up. And if they're really old, nasty, and getting short and you can't use them anymore, you just throw them away and put them in your little scrap bin. And if your state allows it, go ahead and burn them. Or give them to somebody to use for firewood, whatever. They make good kindling. I'll be making 2 scrapers out of this piece of maple today. Yes. And the best types of wood to use are hardwoods. So you don't want to use pine, and definitely don't want to use like balsa wood or cedar or things like that. You want to use stuff like maple, or this one was made of poplar, or you can make them out of mahogany or oak or whatever. Maple is usually the best, but there is one type of maple that's not very good, and that would be this right here, maple bar. Oh, you don't want to use, you don't want to try scraping wood with a maple bar because they're a little soft and, oh man, a good maple bar. It doesn't really, doesn't work that good. It's more delicious, and once you get the stuff on the wood, it's bad. So don't use maple bars. Eat maple bars. They're really good. So I'm going to run you through a few steps on how I go about making these little scrapers. Wherever it went into the twilight zone, I do believe. Mr. Scraper, I need you back. Where did you go? Oh, did you guys see where it went? Oh, look. I made it in the bucket. It was in the bucket of Ramberbades. I used to call these Ramberbades when I was a kid, the rubber bands. I couldn't figure it out. Ramberbade. They make great clamps. Oh. All right. So when you have a wooden scraper, you can't really harm any veneer. Put some glue on there. I think I'm out of glue. Oh, look at that. All right, so you got glue on there, and you've glued a piece on there, whatever, and you want to scrape it off. Using a wood scraper like this, you can't. It doesn't do squat. No matter what you do to it, you can push as hard as you want. You can scrape all day, and it doesn't harm it. The only thing it does is burnish it. So you don't do this 10,000 times to burnish your wood. You just do it to take the glue off. These are 2 things I use all the time. When I'm gluing up panels, I have this guy out because it works good, cuts the glue. I don't use water on any of my glue ups whatsoever. I don't want water anywhere near my wood, except when I'm bathing. And then, yeah, it works good. It's not a piece of plastic. You don't have to buy it. It's reusable, done. You know, it was laying in the bucket over there, and I pull it out and ground it down. I'll show you how I grind them down in 2 shakes of lamb's tail here. So I have my little sliding T-bevel-y thing right here. I have it set at 60 degrees, which you can do. And all you're going to do now is just grind this thing into here. That's one way of doing it. So you turn this on. And it takes a little while. And there you go. That's all you got to do to make the Sharpie thing. So that's 60 degrees, and that's not too bad, okay? If you want to make it more sharp, remove the dangling participle there. And if you're going to grind it even sharper, you can go ahead and do that. I always put my 2 fingers here, and I'll grind it sharper. You use your fingers to kind of control the squareness of this cut. Okay, and you want to be careful you don't stick your finger in there, because as soon as you do, you're going to be missing a digit. So you can grind it even sharper. Just be careful. And I'm just using my fingers. And I'm just using my fingers, so you push up here and it cuts that way. Push down there, it cuts that way. So you kind of use your fingers. Another two-tip Tuesday tip for disc sanders. We'll let it stop. You use your fingers to push this way to keep this square. Hey everybody, okay, this is my old Bosch belt sander. So if you do not have a disc sander like I just showed you, you can use one of these guys. Now you shouldn't hold it like this. I'm gonna hold it like this. You should always hold it like that. And you can make it as sharp as you want. You just gotta be very careful. And what you really should do is go this way. And that's it. I would definitely recommend using 150 or 120 if you can for making these little things. If you don't have any power, you just do it like this here. And you'll be there for about a week, and you'll finally have the little thing done. So there you go. Safety wood scrapers. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Woo! Hey everybody, so here's the dirty scraper. Very, very dirty. See how filthy it is. It's just nasty and gross. So let me put my gloves on. You get a better grip in case you poke yourself. If you poke yourself with these sharp edges, it's gonna hurt. So dirty gookiness, you're doing the flat side first. And I'm kind of spreading my hands apart and rubbing it back and forth. That's all you gotta do. And if it gets dull, you do this side and boom, boom. Clean, sharp, okay, flat. And I'm gonna do the other side. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna hit the bevel part first. I'm gonna hit the little bevel part first. There we go, just like this. And then I'm just gonna clean this off. You don't really have to. You can see how dirty it was before, and it's been that way for a while. If you really want it super duper sharp, you bring in the 320, okay? Set that down, and you do the same thing. Now with 320, you gotta be a little bit more careful because the paper rips really easy. But it's basically the same thing. Cleans it up really quick. And this works with all kinds of chisels too. And then this, I'll just do the tip, get the angle the way you like it. That's it. I really don't clean them up too much. But what I do is when I do, I use toilet paper. Sorry. I get the tip really good. Get the tip really good right there. And I get the back as flat as I can. And the flatter the surface, the better. And this is pretty sharp. Watch, you can actually, this has got finish on it here. You can actually. You can scrape the finish off of it. With veneers, you know, if you're scraping veneers, this will gouge into it like that in no time, and you'll be like, oh no, I just messed up my veneer top. Your safety wood scrapers work really good for scraping on wood. You can't scratch them up, you can't do squat with them because the wood is as hard as the wood. And this maple works really good. The other thing is when you're using these, make sure you keep the flat side down and the angled side up. Takes the glue right off. I've been using the same paper towel all day. So it works really good when they're super sharp. You can also pull like this to get the glue off. And it works just as good. So that's why I keep these sharp, and that's why I made the 2-tip Tuesday on how to sharpen these things, because a nice sharp scraper is an awesome thing. And remember, maple bars are for eating, not for scraping. Oh my goodness. This is the maple you want to use on stuff like this. Safety scraper. Yay, made out of maple. Don't use the maple bar because it's just a waste of food. Oh boy, it's got extra glue on it. Tastes really good. Yeah, awesome. Bye. It's Tip Tuesday. Damn it. Hold on. We gotta do this. Check out my new duds. Maple bar good.
Safety cues. I have safety cues. Mom always told me not to chew with my mouth open. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't mind.
Tip Tuesday.